I'm here to update you on the appalling events yesterday evening, shortly before and shortly after 8 p.m. aboard the number 76 bus travelling from Glen Innes towards Ōrakei here in Auckland. A homicide investigation was launched last night following the death of a 59-year-old East Auckland man. The man was the victim of an unprovoked attack aboard the bus as he was exiting the bus. He got off the bus near Fenchurch Street. He was taken by ambulance to Auckland Hospital and died a short time later. A second man has undergone surgery on his hand today following a second assault by the same offender aboard the same bus. The second man boarded the bus only minutes after the first man got off the bus. The same offender initiated an unprovoked attack on the second victim, who was a man aged 51. Our investigators worked hard through the night to identify the offender, and I want to acknowledge the hard work that they completed last night to advance this investigation. We believe we have identified the man that is responsible. A search warrant was executed this morning. We were assisted by members of the Armed Offenders Squad, but we have not located the offender. Later this morning, we obtained a warrant for the arrest of 36-year-old Adrian Pani. He is wanted to arrest for murder and causing grievous bodily harm. Pani should be considered dangerous and should not be approached, and I stress to anybody, do not approach this man. If you see him or have information about his whereabouts, please call 111 at the earliest opportunity, but do not approach him. We'll be issuing Mr. Pani's details and photos following this media conference. I would like to send a message to the public. I know that many of you will be deeply disturbed about the events yesterday evening. I want to reassure you our absolute priority right now is to arrest Adrian Pani and take him into custody. We are actively seeking him at the moment, and our detectives are supported by members of the Armed Offenders Squad. We will continue searching for him. There is absolutely no place in our community for that kind of needless and senseless, unprovoked violence. We are committed to undertaking a thorough investigation, understanding the motive and exactly why this occurred. That said, we have CCTV footage and it is not apparent on that. I'd reiterate, anybody with information, please contact police on 111 at the earliest opportunity. Do not approach this man. I'll take some questions.
Is there a specific area?
What weapons did he use to carry out these assaults?
It's a knife.
Have you located that weapon?
We are undertaking a scene examination of the bus at the moment. I can't answer that as yet.
Was Mr. Pani known to police prior to the events of last night?
Yes, he is.
Why didn't the bus driver stop?
We have interviewed the bus driver. I don't think he was aware of the significance of the event that occurred as the man got off the bus. One of the two men that were engaged in the altercation got off the bus. The other man, our offender, Mr. Pani, sat down. He continued on his route. Our second victim got aboard the bus and the bus continued for a time before Mr. Pani approached that man.
Whereabouts on the bus did these attacks occur? Was it the front of the bus? Or?
The first attack occurred near the if you call them the back doors, or the doors about half midship on the bus, and the second attack initiated in the back of the bus until the second victim could flee the bus through that same door.
Is there a particular area where you're focusing your search, where the public should be particularly vigilant at the moment?
He is known in East Auckland, but Auckland is a big place, and that's why we need the public's help to find him. I have a picture of him, but we'll release more details on that following this.
Is he thought to be under the influence of any drugs or?
I can't comment on that at this stage.
It's a part of Auckland where many people will know it's an area where gangs are known to have a presence. Can you say anything about whether he has gang connections?
No, I can't, and it's not appropriate for me to comment on this time. What I can say is this matter does not appear related to more recent events. Friday homicide in Mount Wellington. This does not appear to be related to that.
How long was Mr. Pani on the bus prior to the attacks taking place?
A matter of minutes. and then our first victim got on. They did not interact in any way. The first victim travelled for only 2 or 3 stops. He was on board the bus for 2 to 3 minutes and then went to get off the bus. Again, no interaction until the offender walked up to him and the confrontation commenced.
Did the first victim call the ambulance himself, or
Yes,
what
he did.
happened between that?
He got off the bus, he sat down near the superette, called an ambulance and was taken to hospital by them.
Detective, just for the purposes of our live stream, could you please spell the surname of Mr. Pani?
P-A-N-I. First name is Adrian, aged 36.
You mentioned you thought this was appalling. Can you say any more about the behaviour of someone who carries out one assault, stays on the bus, and then another passenger gets on and they are assaulted? How would you describe all that?
Look, it's hard to describe or understand. It is alarming, it is concerning. We need to speak with them to try and understand that better. This investigation's in its infancy. We would hope to understand that better. None of these men appear to know each other at all. It appears, for whatever reason, Mr. Pani has approached them both, and they're on the bus at separate times, and attacked them without reason.
And you're saying, but having looked at the CCTV footage, there's nothing apparent about Mr. Pani's behaviour that gives you a clue as to what was going on?
Not initially, no.
Can you clarify as well, did he engage at all with the bus driver while
We've interviewed the bus driver and there doesn't appear to be any engagement with him, and the bus driver's focused on performing his role. He was aware of certainly the second confrontation because he's got off the bus at the same time as the second victim and another passenger.
How was the bus driver today?
Well, it's a pretty alarming thing to encounter. We interviewed him last night. He was really helpful. He helped us to secure the bus at a safe location where we are today undertaking a daytime scene examination. So he would be understandably disturbed about what's happened. I think anybody that's witnessed this would be troubled by it. And I want to reiterate how important it is that we find Mr. Pani and get him into custody. Anybody that has knowledge of his whereabouts or sees him, please contact 111.
After the assaults, did he try and steal anything from the 2 victims?
No.
And will there be an increased police presence in any areas or on any bus routes today? I mean, what would you say to them?
There will be an increased presence in that vicinity as we undertake an area canvass. There will be many commuters that have travelled to work and into the city and other places today on the bus. Naturally, this is an alarming crime for anybody, and I totally understand why people would be troubled and anxious about that. I want to reiterate, anybody that sees Mr. Pani should call police and be vigilant to suspicious behaviour. We would rather respond to suspicious behaviour than an event of violence. So, there's good people in the community. Look after one another. If you see this man, please call us immediately.
Are police being assisted by any of the offenders' friends or family?
We're engaging with members of his whānau. That is something we routinely do in these circumstances, and I can't comment any further than
But
that.
they are being cooperative?
I can't comment any more than that.
Would you consider releasing part of the CCTV footage so the public can better identify this man?
Well, look, we'll release some still footage. We'll reassess that in the fullness of time, but we'll certainly release some footage, some still photographs from the footage, or a still photograph from the footage. Our subsequent media release will contain those details. We need the public's help to find this man.
How worried for the public safety are you right now?
Well, this is concerning. Anybody that sees him should call us. We will respond quickly. We just need him located and locked up.
Do you believe he still could be armed?
Yes.
Is there anything else you can say about the bus driver, how he's doing now?
No, I haven't spoken to him this morning. We spoke with him last night. He will now, no doubt, be aware due to these media releases what happened. It is nothing in any way his fault, or he should not shield or shoulder any of the responsibility for this. He was going about his normal duties, and this occurred independent of him. So,
you mentioned the knife. Have you actually recovered the knife?
Look, I can't comment on that. We are searching the bus now. We're examining that scene. So I can't comment further than that. Right now we don't have it, but it may well be something that is aboard the bus.
Can you provide any further detail about how he was known to police?
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
Have you spoken to any witnesses? We understand an off-duty nurse attended to one of the victims.
Yes, there was a woman aboard the bus. I understand she's been interviewed. I haven't had a chance to read that material as yet, but she was very helpful to the second victim, as I understand, and they did the right thing getting off the bus. I think once they realised what was going on, they quite rightly and sensibly got off the bus.
The second victim's in a stable condition?
Yes, he's undergone surgery to his hand, I believe, but is still in a serious but stable condition at Auckland Hospital.
And the first victim, I'm assuming you're contacting the family or
we have notified his whānau. Obviously a very difficult time for them, and our hearts go out to them, particularly this time of the year. It's an awful, needless event, and our deepest condolences are extended to the family.
What can you tell us about how Mr. Pani managed to flee from the scene?
The bus driver got off the bus, as did the other remaining people on the bus. He was there for some time, expecting the bus, I believe, to drive off. It didn't, because it didn't have a driver, and then he has got off the bus and left the area on foot. A police dog attended and tracked a short distance, but the track was subsequently lost.
And can you describe how he fled? Was he walking or was he running?
We don't have CCTV of that, but he left on foot.
Could I ask you perhaps, please, just to summarise once again, given we're talking about people who didn't appear to know each other in any way, so there's a random aspect to this. In your experience, how would you categorise this type of an event?
It's tragic. It's absolutely tragic and needless. It's rare that there's not some sort of interaction prior to an event of violence. It wasn't the case in this matter. Neither victim did anything to engage or provoke or do anything to even acknowledge the offender in this case. They were minding their own business. The first victim got off the bus, pressed the button and was waiting to get off the bus, and was approached. So there appears to be no prior interaction or that they're known to each other.
How many people were on the bus in total during the time?
There were, because people got on and off the bus, there were two young women that got off on the bus after the first victim got off, and then they have got off the bus prior to the second attack, if that makes sense. We would like to identify and speak with those young women. The offender showed no interest in them. He was sitting quietly on the bus at that point, and they've gone to the back of the bus and got off the bus before the second altercation occurred.
And who raised the alarm?
The first victim phoned ambulance, and ambulance advised police, and we responded.
And was he stabbed in the stomach?
He was stabbed in the torso, suffered an unsurvivable injury.
And sorry, when the first victim was stabbed, did he scream or yell? Do we know anything about his reaction?
I'm not going to talk about that, I'm sorry.
Can you tell us what company was operating the bus?
No, I can't.
Richie's?